Hello, this is Pearls on Tuesday, and this is a video that I have been wanting to share with you for quite some time. And because we are nearing the first week in February, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to do so. What you are looking at is a door hanging that I created 3 years ago for the celebration of life ceremony for my dear grandmother, whom I called Nanny. If you follow Pearls on Tuesday, I write and talk about her a lot. Her favorite color was blue, and she loved velvet. And so on this arrangement, I put a beautiful velvet ribbon in her favorite color, blue. She passed on December the 12th, 2018. She was 97 years young, and her celebration of life was held in February, and that's why I had winter greenery and berries in this arrangement. The invitation to her celebration of life looked like this on the front. It was a beautiful watercolor of a cardinal. The cardinal was Nanny's favorite bird. She always pointed them out whenever she would see them. And so that has kind of become our symbol together. And I like to believe that on special occasions or days when she wants me to know that she is still with me, she always sends me a cardinal. And I have collected a lot of cardinal items over the years and have a lot of them displayed down here in my basement. So the main thing I wanted to share with you today is a collection of her Catholic memorabilia from many, many, many years. She was a devout Catholic, and even if you are not Catholic, there are a lot of very interesting vintage religious items here in this display that I'm going to share with you. I tried to gather most of hers into one spot so that they could be all together and safe. And we enter and exit our house most often from our basement, so I get to walk by this area very frequently. So let's get started. This is a credenza or a foyer table that has a glass top. So I decided to gather some of her writings, things that were important to her, holy cards, and put them under this piece of glass for safekeeping. This was a letter that she wrote to me, thanking me for a 70th birthday party that I hosted for her. She loved John F. Kennedy, who was the first Catholic president. This is a bookmark. Her name was Florence. She loved her name, and she loved her initials and monograms. So you will see lots of that. This little card here is especially dear. It says, "Summer rules for all Catholic boys and girls." This is a little note my daughter wrote to Nanny when she was little. And look at this beautiful script. My grandfather, Nanny's husband, printed this way. He was a chef in the Navy. and he printed that way. And I've saved many of his cards. This is a dear note that she wrote to my daughter Chelsea, and a little book about confession. And I'm sure that some of you may recognize this lacy head covering. It is very old, and it has a beautiful velvet ribbon, but these would be called matillas or matillas. And pre-Vatican II, women in the Catholic Church covered their heads. This one happens to have a little comb that you could fasten to your hair. But I have many of these matillas that belong to my nanny, and I remember her wearing them very, very well. Nanny was born in the month of September. It was her favorite month of the year. And this is a beautiful cup and saucer that she purchased when she was stationed in England. It is English bone china, and she always loved it because it showed the month that she was born. I also have some beautiful postcards that she sent to various family members or had sent to her. This happens to be from New York in the 1940s. This is a beautiful medal on a white satin ribbon, and some more of my grandfather's printing. This is a postcard from where she was born, which is St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. This was her school in the Virgin Islands, St. Peter and Paul. I have actually been there. And here we have some prayer cards from various family members that passed away. This I find particularly adorable. It's a little plastic wallet, and it says, "I am a Catholic. In case of accident, please call a priest." And you're supposed to fill out the information, which we never did, or she never did. But I have some beautiful old Christmas and religious cards. This was the Golden Jubilee, 1955, of her parish in Portsmouth, Virginia, which was St. Paul's. When my father and my aunt went to high school, the school was called St. Paul's High School. It was affiliated with the church I just showed you. But by the time my husband and I got there, it was called Portsmouth Catholic High School. It no longer exists. But this was a badge from there, and our nickname was the Saints, Portsmouth Catholic Saints. And here are a couple of her initial pins. Like I said, she loved her initials and she loved her monogram. Here are some F's for Florence that she had, and some things that she collected over the years. Her lovely state of Virginia with the cardinal as our state bird. This is a beautiful felt cardinal that was made by some Amish. It's a picture of Nanny and I, and a couple of beautiful cardinals in a pretty sparkly nest. On these shelves are some interesting items. Nanny had a huge collection of celluloid religious statues. I have all kinds and all sizes that belong to her, as well as some of her rosaries. These little metal books I am thinking were rosary holders, because they all open. Let's see if I can get one open. So they open like this, and they snap closed, and they have a little cross on the back. This one happens to have Pope on the front. These two are a little larger and also have the Pope. This was something that I never saw her wear or hold. It is a tiny little prayer book gold charm. And when you open it up, she had a picture of her son, who is my father, and my aunt, her daughter. But I thought that was absolutely beautiful. This is something that I haven't seen in a long time. It is a tiny, tiny metal statue of the Virgin Mary. She used to carry it in her wallet. And on the back, oops, upside down, it says Immaculate Mother of Jesus, Marian year 1953-1954. Now this crucifix, a pocket crucifix, actually belonged to my grandfather. It is in a leather container, and he used to keep this in his pocket while he was wearing his military uniform, and there is a black crucifix inside, which I thought was very precious. And here we have two vintage Infant of Prague statues dressed in velvet and silk with beautiful silver trimming. And here's a tiny one. And more of her celluloid Mary collection. Another rosary. This is a tin, in the background there, a tin frame that says, "O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee." And here are some old children's blocks that I saved, and since her initials were FPH, I put those up there for her. My nanny loved cards, was a great card player, and this was a pack of cards that we about wore out. And when she passed, she had a inexpensive Timex watch, and I took the face of the watch out and put one of my favorite pictures of her, where you can see that big dimple. I put a picture in the face of the watch as a souvenir. This is a silver locket that my husband and I gave to her with pictures of our children in it when they were babies. And some of her necklaces, she loved angels, and those were some of the angel things that she collected. I don't know if you have ever heard about the St. Joseph legend, but supposedly St. Joseph can help you sell your house. And this is a kit that I found that she had that came with a St. Joseph statue, was put out by the Sold Realty Company. It says the kit includes an introduction, the way of St. Joseph, and a petition to St. Joseph. And on the back, it says, "Can't sell home? Ask St. Joseph. He's helped thousands." And there's a picture of someone burying this little statue in the front yard. And there's a certain way you're supposed to bury it. I don't know if it's facing the house, upside down. There's a legend about that. But I found this card that she wrote. Her favorite saint was St. Jude, Saint of Impossible Cases. And on this card, she wrote, $55,900. Please, St. Jude, send a good buyer for Mom's home. That was when she was selling her mother's home. So I'm assuming that that is where the St. Joseph kit came from. And I found this little book, which costs 35 cents at the time. It's the Our Father, a first book for little Catholics. And it explained the Our Father prayer. And what I love the most about this was a book that she gave to me. I love the illustrations in this book. It's similar to the little golden books, but I love all of the illustrations. So I hope you have enjoyed looking at some of this memorabilia. In closing, I want to share this beautiful snow globe that my father gave me for Christmas a couple of years ago, because Nanny and I loved snow, and it has a tree with cardinals in the snow, and I treasure that. But my cousin, my father's sister, was her mother, sent me this sea glass rendition of a cardinal in a tree. And she knows how much cardinals mean to me and knew the special relationship that I had with my nanny. And it says, "I saw a cardinal in my tree, the bright red color so beautiful to see. Thoughts of loved ones brought a smile to my face as I watched it flitter about with grace. Visitors from heaven, they are said to be. I feel blessed that you came to see me." Have a great day and take good care of you and yours.